Hi guys, quick video, very quick video. I've got to go out, but I was watching the JK bug out video that he just posted. Just before I move on, welcome back, JK. It's been a while. You know, we missed your videos. I'm glad you're back. But while I was watching your video, or while I was watching JK's video, I was looking at the Psalm 23, and we are both looking at multiple dates from March through April. But one of the dates that we both agree on is the third lunar month and the third lunar day, which is April the 18th. Check this out. You guys know how I like to take screenshots and mess around with them and, you know, mess with the exposure and things like that. See if there's hidden messages. Well, this one had no need for any change in exposure. Talking about April the 3rd being either actually April the 3rd, 2 days after April Fool's Day, or April the 3rd, meaning the third lunar day in the third lunar month of April, which is obviously April the 18th. I noticed that when you flip the Psalm 23 upside down, backwards, you've got the number 3. And just before I actually go into that breakdown, I don't know if you guys saw the video that JK did where we kind of discovered that there was an 18, you know, kind of embedded in this wall, not really emboldened with color or anything like that, but just kind of like these little dents that you can see here. When you have a high definition video or you mess with the exposure, you can actually see what looks like the number 18. But putting that aside, flip the Psalm 23 upside down, read it backwards. You've got the number 3 here, and then you've got an A. So what could be the 23, the 2 in the Psalm 23, or the L in Lunar 3 could also be interpreted as an A when you flip it upside down. You see how the 3 curls inside of it, kind of making the line across that you would normally get with an A. I kind of drew it out. So there's the 3, and there's the A. 3rd of April. 3rd of April, but also remember that you've got the 18 embedded here, kind of secretly, which is the third lunar day in the third lunar month of April, the 18th. Then I started looking at the rest. Now, I haven't broken all this down yet because I'm rushing because I need to go, but this whole thing here, this lightning strike that joins on to the M when it's the right way around and a W when it's upside down, I started looking at it and I was thinking, okay, I think I'm quite confident that is a 3, and I'm quite confident that is interpreted as an A, 3rd of April. So what does the rest of it say? Or is that just a message that they wanted to convey here? So I'm looking at it and I'm thinking that this whole jaggedness that's going on here, it reminds me of the Richter scale when an earthquake happens and the needle just, you know, starts going up and down. But this one looks like the needle breaks. Basically, the earthquake is so massive that it just goes off the charts. Kind of starts here and then just goes way off the charts. Massive lines. I think that's indicating an earthquake. And obviously that would connect with the Bible because we're told that to expect an earthquake like no person has ever seen before. We've had the great shakeout drills last year, kind of preparing us for a massive earthquake. We've had a few earthquakes along the west coast and the east coast. The Pacific Ring of Fire appears to be active at the moment. So could it be a massive earthquake that is expected on April the 3rd or April the 18th, whichever way this is interpreted? Not only that, but notice the A when it's upside down. This whole line here that comes up and curls round, I don't know if it's just me, but that reminds me of a tsunami wave. Now the whole thing connects together. First of all, 3rd of April, we don't know if anything's going to happen, but we're certainly going to be watching 3rd of April and the 18th of April. both have references to the 3rd in April, either the 3rd lunar month or the 3rd Gregorian day. We'll see. The A, it looks definitely like an A here. There was kind of no need for them if they were trying to, you know, write Psalm 23 in graffiti. There's no need for them to actually curl the 3 around like that. They could have just started here and drawn it like a normal 3, but they've curled it around, and when it's upside down, the curl actually makes up a connection between this bridge here, which forms an A. And then you've got the earthquake, which I think is what this whole jagged mess is representing. A massive one that kind of breaks the Richter scale, goes off the Richter scale into something else, which then generates a tsunami, which appears to be, I mean, if this is kind of in context with the rest of the letters, then it appears the tsunami wave is massive. I would kind of interpret this upside down L as almost like a building. If you want to look at it that way, it could be like I know that a lot of bridges have this kind of structure here underneath, which, you know, if it is, say for example, just an idea, if this event, this massive earthquake, was to happen on the west coast, and the tsunami was generated on the west coast rather than the east, then this could be, I don't know, a representation of Golden Gate Bridge or something. Not too sure, but Golden Gate Bridge is one of the places that I have looked at for one of these type of events to happen. And San Francisco, California, LA is, for years we've been told a massive earthquake is due for the area. And should a massive earthquake happen, you would assume, looking at the history of the tsunamis from Japan and Indonesia, that it would generate a tsunami. But how big is the question? If we're talking about an event that goes off the Richter scale, 9+ on the Richter scale, then we're looking at a massive tsunami there. And then we get to this last part, which is the upside down S and the upside down P. I haven't looked into that part as much, which I'm going to do when I get back home later on, God willing. But it looks as if, this is just one interpretation, later on I might have another. It looks like it could be what could be interpreted as an 8, and then the P kind of going through, or even this white line that comes down could represent a 1, and that could be 18, tsunami, earthquake, April the 3rd, which is also the 3rd lunar day and the 3rd lunar month, which is 18th of April. We've been over that, I'm pretty sure you get it by now. But yeah, I wanted to point that out because I thought when you look at these things, sometimes it takes a long while to actually kind of see what they may be trying to interpret here. Because when it's the right way around, it just looks like Psalm 23. If you squint your eyes a bit and mess around with the letters, you can get Donald out of it. I can even, when it's the right way around, I can even like squint and get the word April out of it. You can get lunar 3 out of it. You can get Psalm 23 out of it. Obviously, that's the kind of the obvious message that they put there. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, which is an interesting Bible passage to choose when talking about a potential second 9/11 event that may be a massive off the Richter scale earthquake followed by a massive mega tsunami. I'm going to look at the S and the P some more, but I'm pretty confident in the 3, the A. The more I talk about it, the more confident I'm becoming that this whole thing isn't supposed to be interpreted as an M and then a lightning strike. This is all one structure, and that whole structure is the same jaggedness that you get when an earthquake happens and the needle on the Richter scale starts moving. I'm really not sure about the L. That was just a rough interpretation. Could be a representation of a building or a bridge or something, or it could be something else. Maybe someone sees something that I don't see right at this moment. But I'm pretty sure whenever I see a curl in this video, it is most likely a depiction hidden in another image of a tsunami happening. Just like at the end of the iPad Goat video where the Antichrist comes out and the whole scene behind him is just a massive tsunami taking down buildings. Thanks, JK, for posting your last video. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have seen that. And this is how it seems to happen. I'm watching a video or I'm watching something and I'm listening, but I'm also thinking at the same time. And then something happens, and I think that's right. I think it's right. Let me know what you guys think. Sorry, it's just like one image I've been kind of stuck on, but that is literally all I looked at. Flipped it upside down, looked at it backwards, and we've got the 3rd of April massive earthquake, tsunami coming over buildings, and possibly the number 18 at the end here, or something else. When I look at it some more, I might see something else there. You guys, that's it. Have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and God bless.